This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
You all are looking fly. That's a cool word I can still use.
Yeah.
So do you guys.
Okay, yeah. Absolutely not. All right, there's been a lot of talk about a national no-fly list for unruly. Speaking of fly, for unruly passengers on planes. We've talked about it a lot. You have written us in. So far in the first 6 weeks of this year, nearly 500 cases have been reported to the FAA for a total of more than 6,400 since the start of 2021. In response, Delta's CEO is pushing the federal government to now create a comprehensive list that would keep unruly passengers off any commercial airline. But now some GOP senators are pushing back, saying the list would result in a severe restriction on citizens' constitutional rights to travel from state to state. So DBL Nation, we want to know what you think. It's always about you, and we don't pay you. Is a national no-fly list for unruly passengers a good idea or not? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. We're going to keep this up while we chat. Al, I saw your head move.
I can't believe we're talking about this, but I mean, I get it because everything's politicized. I didn't know there was going to be a team pro fighting on the plane, but hey. I've learned to accept. You know, what really struck me, guys, is right at the end when they said it's not okay to obstruct somebody's ability to travel from state to state. I'm like, well, what if you're on probation? What if you're 86th at a bar? So a bar you can't have. I've been to some bars that had some faces up there that says so-and-so cannot come in here. Is that unconstitutional? Why haven't we seen a movement with that? So I thought that a private business was allowed to restrict no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Also,
you're not 21. These are all restrictions. I don't understand.
Also,
somebody explain.
Can't you drive from state to state?
Right.
Like, am I
train?
A train?
You could put somebody in a wagon and pull them.
Yeah, there's other ways to get there. Speaking of driving, though, much to Al's point, if your driver's license, we brought this up earlier, if your driver's license is restricted or you get it taken away, in one state, you can't necessarily go to another state and drive. So I do think there's a precedence for this. The thing that really got me when I read this morning was talking about this and them wanting it to be a difference between terrorism, like terroristic threats in the air. But essentially, you are kidnapping 200 people.
Totally agree.
On a vessel that is in the sky and also interrupting the abilities of the professionals who are in charge of keeping us safe in the sky. Isn't that terrorism? Because it would be terrifying to me.
That's a great point. Do you think, Lindsay, the ban, if there is one, goes for life or 3 years?
I mean, people should get a chance to fly again, I think. But the bad behavior, it's like we're grown. And I've been saying this since the beginning of people behaving like this. Just because we were locked down doesn't mean that you lost all the ways to act. And it's like, I don't think this is a political thing. I don't know anybody who's Democrat or Republican. Like, the people behaving badly needs to, I mean, really Democrat or Republican, not doing it for show politically
the ACLU
on a stage. I don't think anybody is
this.
actually saying this. So it's ridiculous to me that people want to actually campaign for people to be able to still get their rights to fly when it's like, you guys are on a plane making it unsafe for other passengers. We've seen so many thousands of instances of this go up in the last couple of years. I don't think that there should be anybody on their side at all.
But the GOP is opposing this.
No, but you're saying the GOP as a whole, it's not. Like, the actual people in the party are actually not. From conversations that I've had, this is ridiculous to everybody that I spoke to this morning. I was like, is this a real thing?
And Delta, by the way, I just want to say the ACLU is also against it, which is a really interesting thing. They find that this is unconstitutional because there's no process of getting off the no-fly list. So to them, that's a big restriction on your civil rights and human rights.
There's rules for everything. So the complaint from these alleged GOP leaders, right? I'm talking about not the ones that have come out publicly saying this foolishness, but anybody else in the party saying, okay, yes, let's ignore these laws and let people do whatever they want. It's kind of like stealing in a candy store. Oh, let's get rid of the law about theft, and so we can steal because that just makes us happier. Like, what's the precedence for this?
Well, can I then say you can't be in any other candy store? That's the constitutional question, right? Is that allowed to go federal if you mess up on one person's airline?
Well, please.
No, but it goes back to Al's point. You know, if that candy store, if the candy store coalition comes together and decides that this person doesn't know how to behave in candy stores, they did this to mine, and everyone else says, well, I don't want this person in my store.
Right.
Are they allowed as a private company to do that?
Interesting.
And I also think, like, the reason why I brought up the GOP part was because that's the way it's being reported, because everything is politicized at this point.
Fair.
So when we're having this conversation, what do we say about mask versus no mask? That's a political issue. Everything is a political issue. So of course this is a political issue.
You bring me into my next point so beautifully, Miss Erica Cobb. There's more to this story, because according to CNN, the vast majority of unruly passenger cases are related to, guess what? Face masks. That's 72% of cases in 2021. Now, Texas is suing the government over its federal mask mandate on airplanes and in airports. So just yesterday, a passenger aboard Allegiant Airlines was reportedly kicked off his flight. He'd allegedly written the words, "Let's go Brandon," on his mask and refused to change it after being asked by a flight attendant. So the question is, should mask mandates on planes end? And would this help solve the problem of unruly passengers? I will just say this. I refuse to be held hostage by people who will not take common courtesy into consideration. I will not be held hostage. Absolutely not. My point of view is mask mandates do not get taken away because these guys, these small percentage of guys, are jerks.
See, but that's your point of view. They have a totally different point of view, and that's what we're talking about. My issue is usually precedent. So, okay, so let's say that, Texas wins or whoever is anti-mask and we remove the mandates. What if they go after seatbelts next? Why not? I mean, we have the precedent now that I don't like this around my waist, Lindsay. It's making me feel like I can't move. The face mask is making me feel impeded. So why wouldn't the same precedent for masks work with seatbelts?
But there's no law that's being enacted in the states, and so that's the thing. It's no federal law. So you're telling people that have been walking around freely since basically the beginning of the pandemic, especially in Florida and Texas, you have to wear this mask on a plane when you step in the airport in the same city that you don't have to wear a mask in any restaurants, anywhere else. So it is a back and forth, which is why, even though I don't like an overall law, I think that there should have been some type of idea from President Trump or Biden to decide what we're going to do with this.
A federal
2 years
mandate.
ago.
But aren't laws different at the airport? Like, you can probably carry a gun in Texas, but not at the airport. So I would think that there would be different laws.
Well, you can check the gun in your bag. I mean,
I think it's Erica, what is your quick thought? Anything?
I'm going to keep my mask on. I bless it every day because when I'm going, especially on a plane, I'm just blocking people's bad energy. Their breath, their energy, their stank attitudes. It's all blocked in my mask because anytime somebody does something that I don't like or agree with, I can hide my facial expression behind it.
Very good to know.
Masks should have marketed themselves like, we block stank attitudes.
I like it.
Would you not buy that? It's like, I don't care about your
We block
microbes.
stank attitudes. Let's take a look at the poll. It was a strong majority say yes. I don't think I've ever seen it that high. 95% say yes, they do support a national no-fly list. 5% of you say no.
I think people are tired.
I think they are too, Al. Coming up on they're not tired of us, though.
No,
okay.
they love us.
Coming up on
Please say
DBL,
yes.
our interview with Grammy-nominated and hilarious guy, singer Josh Groban. He's telling us all about his new tour. And Chet Hanks talks about growing up with famous parents, why he says he didn't have it so easy as a kid.
Get your Kleenex ready.
Oh, boy.
Closed captioning provided by
So that poll was 95-5, and I'm really surprised that. I'm surprised that wasn't the same results for the Super Bowl. I had many thoughts on that. I felt like it should have been most people enjoyed that, but I don't know. This conversation that we keep saying, like, some fool who's supposedly leading the GOP is like saying, like, I feel like it's just like tit for tat. They have to be against something because I don't know who actually wants people to behave poorly and not be able to and be able to fly freely.
Well, it's never the actual point, in my opinion. It's more so, what does this represent? Because now we're talking about the representation of personal freedom, right? So anyone who is in a situation where they feel like their freedoms are being impeded, then anything that represents the continuation of that impediment becomes the enemy. So it's not even about like
these things that become law. Like if you behave, let's say forget the masking before coronavirus. If if you behave poorly on a plane, federally you were charged in some way and probably put on a no-fly list. I'm not sure exactly what the protocol was, but everybody was okay with this since planes came around and since we had a no-fly list. And now it's like because of coronavirus and the masks, everybody wants to get into the nitty-gritty about who should be allowed to.
I think that it's not so much about the idea that there is the no-fly list. It's about the idea of the no-fly list being shared. So across the board. So if you get on the no-fly list for Frontier, then you can fly United. And so that's the issue here. Like if you have done something that has, especially something criminal, to make a plane have to like detour the flight, and you did that on Frontier, and you could go and just do that again on United, like it seems pretty ridiculous to me. And that's what, and I want to make that clear. That is what they're talking about. It's about the idea if you're on a no-fly list on one airline, it should be across the board.
So do you think there should be a road to redemption for people like when you're?
That's fine, but I do believe if you can't act right on United, what makes sense you can act right on Delta?
Maybe in 5 years.
I think they're saying. Welcome back to DBL. Chet Hanks is revealing what it's really like to be the son of Tom Hanks. On his new YouTube channel, Chet said, while there are a lot of advantages to growing up with famous parents, it can also be hard to deal with. Watch.
My dad is beloved. He's on this pedestal. But for me, it created a lot of contempt because people automatically assumed in general that I would just be a really arrogant, entitled, spoiled brat, even though I really wasn't. I'm very privileged, but I wasn't spoiled.
Al, any thoughts on that take? Because I'm going to continue.
I didn't even listen. I was like, look at the view off that balcony. Like, that's what I was like, I don't, of course. It's like, look, you're not arrogant, but you're giving a YouTube tutorial with your shirt off. Come on, look, man, it's fine. I understand that people react to people helping you, Erica. I'm sure we're all, we've helped friends, family before, and it didn't work out well. Sometimes when you give people money, they almost resent you, and some people are appreciative. And it seems like, for whatever reason, just the way he's wired, he's the other way. It seems like he resents his parents for setting him up in the way that they did. Do you guys get that?
Well,
it feels palpable.
I know what you mean by the resentment. Let me finish with this. Chet went on to say, because there's more for you, that he had no one to turn to growing up to help him deal with people who disliked him. Take a look.
I didn't have like a strong male role model to tell me that, to tell me, hey, bro, these people, they're just jealous of you. You have all these things that they want, so they're trying to throw their shade at you so you can feel about yourself because they're jealous. I needed to hear that. I don't have anyone to tell me that. This is me now as a man telling the younger version of myself what he needed to hear.
I think it's the messenger. The messenger is the issue here because I think like it's tough. Let's say Beyonce was my mom. It's hard to live up to that. Tracy Ellis Ross talks about that with Diana Ross being her mom, trying to find her own path. So I hear what he's saying and think there are some valid points in there. But the messenger is also the dude who is speaking like partially Jamaican or something, and nobody wants to hear from him. So that's the problem with this right here.
Well, I think that it kind of goes to his point, and I've never said the most glowing things about Chet Hanks just based on the stories that we talk about.
Right.
But I feel him in this moment because anytime you are in a population where there aren't necessarily people with shared experiences, then I do think that people get lost. And I'm not surprised that he is the way that he is, a little eccentric because he basically, had to be friends and community with himself. Now, that being said, I was a little surprised by your response, Al, because you're always saying, don't shade people because they might have had a handout or something like that, if they're doing something on their own. And I think that he's just trying to do something on his own.
But he's still using his dad to do something on his own.
Is he?
That's the issue. He's bringing up, he's clearly taking shots. There are a lot of celebrities. Now, this isn't 1984 where it's like Stevie Wonder and Johnny Carson and Four of the People. There are TikTok celebrities. There are YouTube celebrities. There are Nickelodeon celebrities. There are rap celebrities. There are country music celebrities. There are celebrities everywhere, and they all have kids. And we only seem to hear from this one kid. If you did your own thing, we're into art, we're into removed yourself and just did other things, I don't think people would be checking for you like that. But if you keep going, I'm Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, and I can't get a leg up, people are like, all right, well, dude, miss me with that. I missed 3 mortgage payments.
And
like,
he does
no
it
one wants to hear that.
And he does it in Jamaican patois, which is always
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, I will say that Colin Hanks, his brother, is an excellent actor and has never really done that other road that you're talking about. So
yeah, so
interesting.
And they grew up in the same house.
Yeah,
that's how you're wired.
We'll be right back.
This was.
White House press briefing, Dr. Anthony Fauci refuted claims that the COVID-19 vaccine could impair fertility in women and men, citing 2 different studies. So let's verify. Does the COVID-19 vaccine cause infertility? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, a joint statement from the American Society of Reproductive Medicine, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and the Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine, and 2 studies on the impact of COVID-19 vaccines on fertility. The CDC says there is currently no evidence that COVID-19 vaccines cause fertility problems in women or men. A 2021 joint statement from reproductive health experts at 3 organizations emphasizes that there is, quote, no evidence that the vaccine can lead to loss of fertility, unquote. The studies referenced by Fauci during the briefing also support the statements from the CDC and reproductive health experts. A January 2021 study funded by the NIH monitored conception rates of about 2,100 couples in the U.S. and Canada. The study found that COVID-19 vaccine did not reduce the chances of conception. A study published in the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology in January 2022 tracked about 200 vaccinated patients and about 1,000 unvaccinated patients for 7 months. The study found that receiving an mRNA vaccine, quote, was not associated with an adverse effect on stimulation or early pregnancy outcomes after in vitro fertilization, unquote. So we can verify, no. There's no evidence that the COVID-19 vaccine causes infertility in women or men. However, the 2021 NIH study did find that having a COVID infection may temporarily affect male fertility. Data from the study show that if a male partner was infected with COVID, the couple was 18% less likely to conceive for about 60 days. According to the study, getting vaccinated may help men avoid this short-term decline in fertility following a COVID infection. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy.
That voice, welcome back to DBL. Josh Groban has been one of the most recognizable voices in the world, and he is bringing his voice back on tour this summer. Earlier, Lindsay and I caught up with a global superstar who's actually quite funny. Check it out. Josh Groban, it is always so lovely and great to have you back on DBL. You know I love him because he's so funny. People don't know he's so funny. All right, your birthday's coming up on February 27th, and you actually share your special day with your younger brother. So we just wanted to know what it was like sharing a birthday growing up.
Oh, man. I mean, I'll never forget that 4th birthday. I thought I had a clown coming to the house to do magic and animal balloons. Nope, straight to the hospital. You've got a brother on the way, and you know we learned to share very, very early on. He's my best friend. He's the best guy I know. But yeah, that was weird. That was really weird. My parents kept the schedule apparently.
That's crazy.
Let's move on to your variety show. It's back at Radio City Music Hall. Last time you had Dr. Ruth join the show to provide some sex ed. So I want to ask you, what was the best tip that she provided that night?
Yeah, speaking of people being born, I think a lot of kids have been born since that last show with Dr. Ruth. You know, Radio City is one of those venues that's just been a good luck charm place. And so they said, look, take the stage, do whatever you want with it. And so we've kind of created this great big variety show where there's guests and interviews and songs of mine and songs of others. And it's just a really good time and a great celebration of the city. So we'll be there April 7th, 8th, and 9th.
That's so cool. I'll be at Radio City Music Hall. That's
I know.
So cool to say. All right, it's been 20 years since you released your debut album. What music advice would you give a 20-year-old Josh today?
Well, I would say maybe don't be so anxious. I was a really anxious kid. You know, I was 15 when I was first given like my first solo in high school. And then, you know, like 16 and a half when I was discovered by David Foster. So the time between being a very, very nervous student and being a very, very nervous professional singer singing for presidents and royalty was really not that much time. And so I would kind of go back and I would say to him, just keep your head down, keep doing you, and don't sweat the small stuff. But it's impossible to, maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm still here is because I was sweating the small stuff. So it's hard to say.
So your audience ranges from kids to grandparents. Yeah. But why do you think the demographic skews to those in their golden years?
I'm a nice young man with, I like to serve a cup of tea with every concert, and we have a special section in the audience for knitting, and we have bingo night on most of my shows. So I think we've really, all of those things have really helped me cultivate my true soulmates.
Josh, you're going on tour this summer. It's going to be the first time you play songs for a live audience off your latest album, Harmony. What song always makes the whole audience do a sing-along at your concerts?
People are always singing along to You Raise Me Up. People are always singing along to, sometimes with foreign language songs. People are singing along to songs that sometimes don't even know what they mean. It's an incredible thing when you feel like, I've been doing this now 20 years. And so when you have fans that have been with you your entire career, it's always an incredible thing to see those fans that are really just right there for you.
Josh's 2022 Harmony Summer Tour kicks off June 17th. To find a show near you, visit joshgroban.com. Josh, you were always such a pleasure. And I'm like an anxious person too, so so is Lindsay. We feel you. We feel you.
Oh, yeah. You know what? But you know what, though? Take a deep breath. You're doing great. We're doing great. We're all going to make it. It's just not this. It's not that deep. We're just all just dust and doing the best we can.
I love that advice.
Amen.
Stardust. We'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Kamila Valieva returned to the ice to compete in the women's short program in figure skating. The Russian Olympian was cleared by the Court of Arbitration for Sport to compete after she tested positive for a banned substance back in December. Soon after the court's decision, American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson suggested on Twitter there was a double standard because she was forced to miss the Tokyo Games after she tested positive for THC. Richardson said she smoked marijuana to cope with her mother's death. Richardson then told her 500,000 followers that the only difference I see is that I'm a black young lady. So let's verify. Are Richardson's and Valieva's circumstances the same? Our sources are the Court of Arbitration for Sport, the International Olympic Committee, the World Anti-Doping Agency, the Russian Anti-Doping Agency, USA Track and Field, the International Skating Union, and sports attorney Howard Jacobs, who specializes in anti-doping cases. Jacobs explains Richardson's case is very straightforward and by the book. She tested positive, and less than 2 weeks later, U.S. anti-doping officials reported the results and imposed a 30-day suspension, which meant Richardson would miss the Olympics. Richardson also did not file any appeals and instead agreed to the suspension.
And that's how it's supposed to happen during, an Olympic trials or competition that is pre-Olympics. And if you contrast that to what happened in the Valieva case, the contrast is pretty stark.
Valieva's sample was collected in December, but it took 6 weeks for the results to come back, and the Olympics were already underway. The Russian anti-doping agency then suspended her, but unlike Richardson, Valieva appealed to RUSADA, and the agency agreed to let her compete. The World Anti-Doping Agency, the IOC, and the International Skating Union appealed that decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which decided to uphold the decision to allow Valieva to compete. This also highlights another difference with Richardson. The IOC and WADA only stepped into Valieva's case after they disagreed with RUSADA's decision.
Pretty unusual for a provisional suspension to be set aside by any agency, but to have it all happen, in the middle of the Olympics, I don't think it's ever happened.
So it's false that Richardson's and Valieva's circumstances are the same. Valieva will continue competing at the Olympics, although it's possible she will be suspended later on, and the IOC could retroactively invalidate any medal she's won. With Your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Big air snowboarding and freestyle skiing are breathtaking winter games sports that combine speed and height with tricks often seen in the halfpipe and slopestyle competitions. Competitors slide down a long ramp and go over one jump. Once in the air, they do as many spins and flips as they can pull off, then try to land without falling. Big air snowboarding is back for a second time in the Winter Games, while big air skiing is making its debut. As for what the judges are scoring, you just need to know the DBL. DEAL. It stands for difficulty, execution, amplitude or height of the jump, and landing. Runs will be scored by a panel of judges. The highest and lowest scores are thrown out for each run.
It's that time of the week to follow Tori on Instagram. Just kidding. So get ready to shop. We've got self-care deals like you've never seen. Check out these new products from our friends at MorningSave. Steph, what do you have for us today?
First up, we've got Power to Go Pro Lens Kit with LED light and travel case. So this 11-piece set includes a wide-angle lens, a macro lens, an LED light clip, a protective zippered case, and more.
Wow.
So normally this kit is as much as $60.
Okay.
But right now we've got it for only $24, which saves everyone at home 60%.
Let me take a picture of those savings, huh?
Now, Tori, this deal is awesome. We've got Empower Cool Breeze Flex Neck Fan.
I love these.
So the deal includes one neck fan. It's got bladeless technology. It even has 18 hours of cooling in just one charge.
Wow.
So normally the fan, neck, charger, and everything is $60.
Okay.
But we've got it for $29, saving everyone at home 52%. We've got a 10-pack of Glossmetics Hydrating Jawline Shaping Face Mask.
I need this.
How cool. Look at this. So this deal includes 10 of these jawline shaping masks. So you can tighten and lift your face with these shaping face masks that are infused with cooling aloe vera. So normally these are as much as $140 for a pack.
No.
This is an amazing deal because now they're $19, which saves up to 86%. And last but certainly not least, we've got Cortex Airblade Pro Performance Hair Dryer with Blue Ionic technology. So the deal includes one hair dryer, one narrow nozzle, one wide nozzle, and one diffuser.
Ooh.
And the ion technology helps keep your hair hydrated and healthy, which means less frizz and a faster drying time. So normally this is $250.
No.
But we've got it for only $49, Tori, saving 80%.
I love when it's a good morning save. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices or gifts. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Again, Steph, thank you so much. Good gifts to get there. Now, we have a great comment here by Fawn. If you have a meltdown, you should be banned from the company. If you're banned from American Airlines, maybe you learned your lesson and will act better on Delta. There's actually some gray area here.
I'm sure the people at Delta would love to do your little in-flight experiment.
But then, you know, when the lawsuit comes, when they find out that you acted up on American and then Delta lets you on, and now you have a whole problem because you have passengers who can sue you.
Hello. Great show. DBL's new every day. Still follow me on Instagram. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.